everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So I finally did a thing. After storing my yarn in boxes and that type of thing all over the house, I finally have storage for my yarn. So I bought some of those plastic cubes on Amazon. And I will insert a picture here of my cube storage. So I've seen other people with the cubes, and they're priced right. I've forgotten if I paid. It was either $59.99 or $69.99 or maybe $64.99, somewhere in that range, between $60 and $70 for 12 cubes. So I bought 2 sets of 12 cubes. The next size up was 16 cubes, and the 16 cubes was like $100, and then to go up to 24 cubes was $120, I think. So it was pretty much the same price to buy 2 sets of 12. The other thing is the larger sets, the delivery wasn't until after Christmas, and I wanted to get this all set up and organized before that so that I could get my yarn unpacked. So previous to this, so when we moved back home a couple weeks ago, we switched everything out from where it used to be. We live in a 4-bedroom house, and there's 4 of us that live here, my husband and I and our 2 grown kids, my son and my daughter. My son's 27 and my daughter's 21. And we have a fully finished basement that used to be a small 1-bedroom basement apartment, but we don't rent it out anymore. We now use it. So previously, my husband and I were in the second largest bedroom, and the kids had the 2 smallest bedrooms, which, when I say the smallest bedrooms, they are really small. They are like 9 by 9. You can fit a bed in there and a dresser and like a very small desk, and that's about it. So, and the one room is, because of where the closet, the door, and the window is, it's harder to place furniture in that one than it is the other one. So anyway, so we decided that in the basement, the finished basement was used for my office, and then the basement bedroom is used for guests. Typically my parents, they're the ones who use it the most. It's actually their furniture that's in it. Yeah. So when we moved home, we decided to, well, previously we were using the largest bedroom. When the kids were little, we decided that, because back then the basement was rented out, we decided that the kids needed a playroom more than my husband and I needed the biggest bedroom. The biggest bedroom and our old room they're pretty close, the same size. One's like 14 by 12 and the other one's 12 by 12. And the furniture actually fits easier in the 12 by 12 room, again, because of the layout of the room, where the door is, where the closet is, and where the windows are. So we had always used, when the kids were little, they'd use it as a playroom. The family computer was in there for the kids to use for their homework and whatever. And I used it for home office when I needed to use an office, which I didn't work at home then, so it wasn't like it was a full-time office. And then as the kids got older and it wasn't used for a playroom anymore, my husband watched TV in there occasionally. Other than that, it just turned into what I called the hoarding room. It just would get full of crap, and every now and then I would go in there and I clean all the crap out and I get it so it was halfway reasonable, and within a few weeks it would just turn into the hoarding room again. So we decided when we moved home that we would move my office upstairs, because the basement is quite cold. I wasn't comfortable being in my office some of the time. I'd go down there and I'd have multiple sweaters on, or I'd turn a heater on or something like that. So we decided to move my office upstairs to the fourth bedroom. So my office moved to the smallest bedroom with the weird furniture placement because that was what was convenient. My daughter kept her room that she always had. And then my son took our old room and we moved to the biggest room. So that left the basement for the now TV room. So we have the TV set up down there and we have a couple recliners down there. The mismatched furniture ended up down there. And so now there's a place for my husband to go and watch hockey or whatever, or whoever doesn't want to watch TV in the living room. And that left a little corner left for my yarn storage. So I bought the cubes and they came on Monday, and my daughter and I spent Monday evening putting the cubes together, and then I decided to use 20 cubes. So I did, like, they are piled 5 high and 4 wide. And I started unpacking my yarn and putting it away. So then yesterday I finished unpacking my yarn and putting it away, and I have a lot of yarn. When you see it all in one place, I mean, I knew I had a lot of yarn, and in some ways it looked like there was more just because there was boxes in my closet, there was boxes in the hoarding room, there was boxes in the basement, I had boxes underneath my desk. Like, it looked like a lot of yarn before, but now it, in a different way, looks like a lot of yarn. But it's really nice to be able to see what I have, because I have bought yarn because I can't find something. Like, I'm making amigurumi and I need a particular color. I would go to the store and buy it if I couldn't find it. I would be like, well, I thought I had that color, but I can't find it. I guess I don't. So I go to the store and I buy it. So now I can see it all. It's all in one place, and very, very happy with my new yarning storage. And you know, I kind of thought my husband was going to freak out. Like, I thought, like, my daughter and I put it all together. He was upstairs. He was watching TV. He never came down at all Monday night. And then yesterday I had like maybe 2 boxes left of yarn to unpack. I hadn't actually found those boxes yet. But I knew in my head, like, oh, I'm missing this, I'm missing this. So I knew there had to be at least one more box around somewhere. But my husband came down when he got home from work, and I was down there organizing yarn and putting things away. And he walked in and he's like, oh, this is better. He's like, I like this better than the old chaos and the boxes everywhere. And da 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 da. And I made a comment about, oh, you know, my mom's gonna come and she's gonna freak out. And he's like, no, I think she's gonna appreciate your yarn. Well, I think he's crazy. Mom's gonna freak out. But he didn't freak out, which is good. I kind of expected him to freak out. So anyway, so I'm really happy with my new yarn wall, corner, whatever you want to call it. It's not a yarn room. It will never be a yarn room in this house, unless one of my kids decide to leave. But at the same time, I think taking 2 rooms for myself seems a little much. Like, I already have my own room for my office and my own corner in the basement for my yarn that I don't share with anybody else. So it seems like I'm already taking a lot of space. But I guess it is what it is. So, and it's really nice to have it all in one spot. So I did decide to pick the cubes are available in different ways. I'm going to link the cubes that I bought in the description box below. Keep in mind that I am in Canada, so if you are somewhere else, you should look on your own Amazon country website. But I opted for the ones that I bought were available. I wanted the ones with doors because I don't want my yarn to get dusty. So I opted for ones with doors. I also had in my head that it might be a little bit more stable. That is not the case. The doors don't make it more stable. and it was available in 3 colors. One color was like the the cubes themselves were black, and then the doors were like a transparent color, but they had like a frosted, but they had like a swirl in them. The other color was like a solid white, so the cube itself was white and the doors were white, so you can't see through that. And the other one, what they call transparent, but it's not really transparent, it's frosted. I chose the transparent one, so that way I can kind of see what's in the cubes from, excuse me, without opening the doors. But at the same time, they stay clean and you can't see how messy the cubes really are. So, yeah. So I am hoping to use up some yarn and decrease the amount of cubes that I have, because I now see I have a lot more floppy skeins than I ever thought that I have, and singles, which singles in some weights is great, but I mean, most of my amigurumi I do in Sheepy's Katona, so having 4-weight floppy skeins for amigurumi doesn't really make sense. I do it once in a while, but not often. So I'll have to decide if I'm going to get my floppy skeins all out and make like a scrappy project. It's a thought, never really done a scrappy project like that. The colors and in my head getting it to work right is scary. I know other people who do scrappy stuff, they just take all their balls and their yarn colors and put them in something and just pick one and go with it next. But I don't know, that seemed kind of scary to me. So we'll see. I am getting some ideas from it, and from looking at what I have some things that I want to work on. At the same time, I have a lot of whips that I need to finish, and yeah. So if this is the last video of mine that you see, I don't know if I'm going to do another video between now and Christmas, but in case I don't, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Or whatever it is that this holiday is for you. I hope that you have a safe and happy holiday with your family or friends or whoever it is that you spend your time with. We will be at home for Christmas Eve. My parents are coming to have dinner along with my brother and his wife and his 2 kids, my niece and nephew. My parents, I believe, are staying here Christmas Eve, and then I assume most likely they're going to my brother's on Christmas Day. That's what they usually do. And we are going to my sister-in-law's house for Christmas dinner, so I'm excited about that. And I'm just looking forward to having a nice, relaxing holiday with family, and I hope that yours is the same. So, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye, everyone.